Hello, hello. So, Tadja and I are here today to talk about the upcoming retreat. So, this episode, whether you're watching us on video or you're listening, we are just going to be sharing what our upcoming retreat in October is about, what it's going to look like, answering some of the most common questions we anticipate. So if you're interested in the retreat, if you're kind of on the fence, feeling into it, definitely take a listen to this episode because we are already halfway full. So we've only got 5 spaces left to join us. So if you are interested, definitely listen to this and see if it helps your kind of soul intuition know if this is meant for you.
That's right.
All righty. So I say let's just start with what the retreat is called. Let's talk theme. I think it's a great place to start.
Yeah. So this retreat is called Living the Dream, Walking Your Highest Timeline, because the theme of this retreat is going to be about tuning into what that highest path is for yourself. So we all have soul callings, right? And experiences that our souls want to move through in this life. However, we're very socialized. We're social beings, and we get very conditioned by the world, and we're given values that come from outside of us, or rules, or restrictions, or pathways that have been walked by other people that we're told that's what you're supposed to walk down. And so over the course of our lives, we can get very detached from this highest path or highest calling that our soul wants to experience. So that's going to be the theme of this retreat. We're going to be exploring it through altered states of consciousness, through journeying, through movement, to kind of like get down below the top consciousness level, right? Where we all live right here in the chatter, and it's a little bit messy and it's hard to see and it's hard to feel. So we're going to be getting down below that to a deeper place, and we are going to be bringing about visions for our path, and then healing work around the blocks that we have for walking that path, which is perfect because we're working with an eclipse as well. And eclipses, they happen on the nodes, the north and south node of the moon. And in modern astrology, the nodes are considered the destiny line, like where you've been and where you're going. Like, what's your destiny? What are you being called towards? What are you being pushed towards? So we're going to be having major astrology happening on that line. So that's why we chose to work with an eclipse specifically, because we're hoping to partner with that energy to really be able to open the door up to our own destiny line.
Yes, the timing and theme of the retreat are very intentional, very based on what is happening and is going to be happening with the eclipse and with the sky on that weekend. You may have heard before, I want to address this like right off the bat, not to work with the energy of an eclipse. That's kind of like traditional astrology advice often.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, we don't do a lot of work with eclipses. This one, though, we spent quite a bit of time feeling into this and looking at, is this really the right time? And it's just was such a strong, this is an eclipse to work with. So we are kind of bucking the norm a little bit with doing this on the weekend of an eclipse. We likely should be able to partially actually see some of it from where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but it's in the partial path. So we'll actually get to potentially witness some. And we're really going to be working with that very intentional energy of let's work with that destiny line, because something that we've talked a lot about, I feel like in the last 6-7 months, is this feeling of shifts happening, coming into like, what are we building? What are we moving forward to? Like, what is the actual like reason that we are here doing our work, each of us, right? Um, and this eclipse and this retreat is very much in line with that energy we've been in collectively for a while. Like, okay, what actually is that destiny line? What am I supposed to be walking down? Where do I maybe need to course correct so I can just be in that place that I want to be in more easily? What does that look like? So very intentionally like chosen around this theme and around this eclipse, because we've just been in this energy for so long. Like, let's work with it. Let's break through the barriers, and doing it as a group in sisterhood, in person. There's like a whole other level of shifting and opening that we get to step into together with that.
Yes, and this will be a Libra eclipse, which Libra rules relationship. And so we're going to all come together in relationship, in community. Shannon and I are partnering in this energy to create this retreat, make this energy happen. And we both have Libra North nodes, so this is like very close to our own energies, our own hearts. And we will have just gotten out of a really big Venus retrograde. Venus retrogrades about every other year or so, and this is a big one. And she will have just moved out of this retrograde. So we're going to be processing a lot in these coming months, and it's perfect timing to be able to work with this energy because Venus rules Libra, to be able to work through this energy and actually start to see where we're headed. It's just like Shannon said, we've been going through major shifts, and a lot of people are reorganizing themselves and reorganizing their lives right now. And we hope to help support you on that path to really be able to see with clear vision what your dream is. That's why we're calling it living the dream. It's like this dream life. It's not just like your purpose in a form of like work. It's like, how is the best way I can possibly be in this life that's going to bring me the most joy, love, satisfaction, all of that.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, this is not necessarily about like having to come to this retreat or even leave this retreat with like, this is exactly what my dream life has to look like. It's more, how can I connect to the energy? So just in case
Yes,
hearing like, oh, it's about your dream life, makes you go, oh, well, I don't know what that is yet. You don't have to know. We're going to connect into the energy of that so it can continue to unfold after our weekend together.
that's right.
I think this is a great shift to talk about, just briefly give you an idea of how are we going to do this? How are we going to connect into the energy, achieve these, altered states of coming into our consciousness? Like, what is that going to look like? So first off, we're going to be doing a fair amount of journey work. So shamanic journey work and Akashic journey work, and really the way that we do them is one and the same. So shamanic journey work, or journey work in general, when I say journey, journeying is about coming into a very, very relaxed space where we can consciously choose to walk into our altered states of consciousness. Shamanically, we call it walking into the other world or into other dimensions. Another way you can think of that on a more like psychological level is walking into your consciousness, into your subconscious or your unconscious. It's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing. We're just talking about using different languaging for it. So shamanic journeying is about how do we walk into those altered states, those altered levels of consciousness, and then we do work within that journey space. Sometimes we're receiving messages, sometimes we're doing work to shift our actual like consciousness and release old patterns, which is a big part of what we'll do that over this weekend. So that when we come out of journey space, we then can integrate that work into our like conscious living daily life. And when we work with the Akasha, very similar, we're just going into more collective consciousness spaces, and connecting into the like collective consciousness around us to find where am I connected in, and what is my, in this case, what is my like line of connection, my timeline, my embodiment of this. So we're definitely going to be doing quite a lot of journey work. And we're also going to be doing embodiment somatic work, which I'll let Tadja talk about.
Yeah, so what I will be bringing is embodiment work, which is the feminine form of spiritual work, or at least a feminine form of spiritual work, which is using the whole instrument of our bodies, right? It's not just about like getting our minds on board, getting our consciousness on board, getting our energetics on board. It's also a process of getting our physical bodies on board. We all have energy flowing through us. We're all affected by this energy that's around us. So we will be doing embodiment practices as well, which is a similar thing. It's dropping yourself down into a more unconscious state, but it's body wisdom, it's body focused. So we'll be getting ourselves into a place where we have a lot of like freedom in our bodies, that they can move and breathe and sound in whatever ways they need to. So many of us are locked up quite physically and energetically. So we're going to be creating a lot of space in our bodies. And we're going to be able to use our bodies to almost physically, basically physically work with the energy. So we'll have some timeline practices that we can walk into using our full bodies and the full feeling that we have in our bodies, and really tapping into our body's wisdom. So that's going to be the embodiment work. We'll also be doing other movement-based practices throughout. There will be yoga in the mornings. We're planning on having at least one night of ecstatic dance, just creating a lot more space and freedom in our bodies to be able to do these big shifts and this big work.
Yes, yes, yes. And the reason we're doing, all of this together is because we need the mind and the body working together. They're very interconnected. So we will be playing back and forth between getting still and journeying, and moving in the body and moving what we're releasing or realizing through into our conscious life. So very, very interconnected. And this is really the like, I would say this is the full like expression of how we connect into new states. We need both levels. We need all levels. It's more than just two levels, but we need all of these levels we're bringing in.
Yeah. Yeah, and some other things we'll be doing during the retreats. I just want to touch on some of the other ideas we have. We'll be doing a fire ceremony one night where we will be um, partnering with the medicine of fire to be able to release all of the blocks and things that are in our way. Fire is a great transmuter. And so we're going to be doing a fire ceremony to give the blocks from ourselves that are in our way. We're going to be doing some body healing, like our own relationship to our bodies, because especially as women, we have a lot of um, pain when it comes to our relationships with our bodies. And that disconnects us from our bodies. And you wouldn't think that something like body image could disconnect you from body wisdom, but it absolutely does. If you're disconnected to parts of your body, if you hate parts of your body because you don't like the way they look or whatever it is, you're not fully tapping into the fullness that is you. So we're going to be doing some body image healing together as well. We'll be spending some time out in nature. It's going to be very, very earthy and very grounded and very body based. Even though we're going to be working with a lot of high, big energies, it's all coming back down to the here and now, to these bodies, to where we are in the world. It's one thing know your vision or try to just know it in your mind, and it's another thing to actually walk towards it each and every single day with these bodies. So we're going to be working with our vessels a lot. We'll be spending time out in nature. We will be doing stargazing work. It's going to be very earthy, very grounding, very healing.
Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, okay. Just taking a second to ground in. And see if there's anything else we need to share. We've shared, I think, most of what we wanted to talk about.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. This is, I think, the other thing I'm feeling called to bring up into this is also for Taja and I an embodiment of, we're stepping forward into something that's a big dream for us, talking about dream life, to hold retreats like this. This is our first one. And our plan is to continue doing this, building momentum, doing this multiple, 2 or 3 times a year is the hope. So this is the first one. So there's this kind of special energy, I think, to this retreat as well, of um, really like that dream energy, like we're stepping onto our highest timeline. We're not only bringing that just because of the eclipse, because of the theme, because of our intentions, also like personally, this is a big, big dream and embodiment of a dream for us. And so when we are, as we're talking about this, I really just want to physically put into the words like this deep invitation to join us with building this dream, because your participation helps us build the dream, and being in that energy, then we get to help build your dreams too. There's this beautiful co-creation that gets to happen, beautiful exchange when we're all in this space together. And I think that's really special and exciting, that is the energy that we're bringing into this first retreat together. uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big, beautiful, um like soul deep excitement kind of energy.
Yes, yes. And I love that you brought in that co creation piece because it absolutely is a co creation. We're going to be facilitating and guiding, but this is going to be created by all of us. Like, you are as important to the creation of this retreat as we are. We're not all powerful magicians, right? Who can just move people around and make things happen, right? We're going to be creating space and creating environments and holding energetics for all of us to be able to work in this together. And it's true that there's something so special and potent about the start of something, like the spark, the beginning of something, because Shannon and I are both feeling that this is going to continue on for us for a long time. And this is going to be a big creation that we're going to be in for years and years to come. And there's something so pure and potent about being there at the beginning. And we would just be so honored to be able to share space with you. And like Shannon said, we're already about halfway full. We're already having a lot of interest come in. We're still in our early bird period right now while we're recording this. If you're watching this later, it's possible we may not be. But I would just encourage you, if you're feeling something tug at you, if you're feeling something in your belly or in your heart, like this is for you, I would encourage you to reach out to us and we can have a connection call, even if you're still on the fence. And after our connection call, you still don't have to sign up for the retreat, but we're offering these connection calls so you can sit with us. You can feel into our energy. If you don't already know us, we can feel it into yours and decide together if this is the best thing for you.
Absolutely. I want to come back for a second to touch on the co-creation part, because I
Mm.
just, we've said, we say this about spiritual work often. It's a co-creation, but there's something extra about this in-person work. I mean, this is Friday afternoon through Monday morning, a long weekend where we are in this intensive, beautiful sisterhood co-creation. I mean, this is even more so, like, if you've never done work in person, um, with either us or anyone, if you've never been to a retreat before, there's an extra depth to the co-creation and the energy that is created by being in the community like this. So it's a whole other level of soul work. And there's something about, I mean, the reason that retreats are so wonderful when they're, aligned in the right ones for your soul, is because just that intensive, maybe 72 hours ish of being in the space creates so much momentum and shift. I mean, I've only done a couple of retreats myself, have by no means been to like tons and tons, but what I have done irrevocably changed me 100%, and they're in like a different way than anything else does. And so that's the other reason we're so excited about this, is because it is truly a portal. We're stepping into a portal together, it consciously creating and stepping into and choosing to step into this portal together over this weekend to shift and change and really align to our highest timelines, because that's what the world needs. That's the other reason that we're doing this. And this is this is our theme. Because we're at a time where like this is necessary. This is a necessary step for not just ourselves and our souls, but if you're someone who feels this strong calling or mission to like work with the collective and help the collective move towards healing, whatever that means for you, we're at that point where like it's been ramping up since 2020, really, but we are at a point where it is beyond time to step in. That's why this energy has been initiating us collectively in it for so many months. It's time to make those steps. We're being prepared. And this retreat is about really like integrating the preparation and stepping forward.
Yes, yeah. Humanity is at a crossroads right now where we are either going to heal and awaken and solve our problems and step into ourselves and continue forward in a gorgeous way, or we're not. And we do this by working ourselves individually so that we can work in the collective. We've entered the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius energy is the individual for the collective. It's about embodying your own authenticity, your own unique expression out into the world, of arriving at a place of integrity where you are your whole self, where your mind and your body and your heart and your spirit are all moving together as one. From that place, we ripple change out from ourselves, like without even trying, just walking through the world from an authentic, integrated place is going to change the energetics in ways that we can't possibly fathom. And we have to step into this. We have to do this. This is a call right now. And so that's why we're holding this retreat, because we will take care of all of it. You'll have a place to sleep. You'll have food to eat. You'll have a few days where you just don't have to worry about any of those things. The only thing you have to worry about is deepening into self, tapping into soul, finding healing, opening yourself up, and being in community. And it's just like Shannon said, we will create this energetic portal together. That's what happens when people come together in a circle. We co-create a big energetic portal that can heal, shift, change, transmute, alchemize so much more than we can possibly fathom. It's bigger than we can even put words to. We can talk at it a lot. We can say a lot of words, but this energy is going to affect you in ways that you wouldn't be able to fathom. And maybe you won't wake up the next day after the retreat in a totally new life. Maybe you will, but this is energy that is going to carry on and carry forward, and it's going to affect all aspects of your life, your relationships, your work in the world, your health, everything, everything, everything. We're tapping into great big mysteries. We're tapping into huge energetics that go way, way, way beyond ourselves. And we're so excited that we get to bring this forward into the world. It truly does feel like a deep soul calling for Shannon and I. And we're so excited that we're stepping into this very first one.
Absolutely. Yeah. So a couple last things I want, like very human grounded things about like things to know if you want to sign up. Um, Beyond the fact that if you want to sign up, we're in early bird period when we're recording this. So if you're watching this pretty immediately or listening pretty immediately, probably still in that early bird, have about half the spots left. We will, we will, oh my goodness, I'm like blanking on what I want to say.
Hmm.
This real time so you guys can see. I like had something I wanted to share. Um one thing that I wanted to add was we will have likely some plant medicine
Mm.
available to microdose or sit with small amounts of at very particular times. By no means is that necessary, but we wanted to share that just so that you can feel into the energy of having the possibility, if you want to connect in with plants. But all of this work can be done without it. Just so that's an option. Um, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I needed to say. I feel like there was something else, but
Hmm.
also trusting that we've said what we need to say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I've said everything I needed to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So funny. My brain had a little like, um, oh, where we're doing this. We're
Oh,
in Colorado. We're holding this retreat in Colorado. Um, you've probably already seen that if you're here, you've likely seen this, but we are holding this retreat in Black Forest, Colorado, which is just outside of Colorado Springs. So front range of the Rockies, very easy to get to. Also very intentional for this first retreat, making it very easy to get to us. To meet up with us. Going deeper into the Rockies would involve a lot more travel. So that will be in the future. So easily accessible from Denver or Colorado Springs. And Friday to Monday, we are getting together Friday afternoon, and we will be in ceremony, sisterhood, retreat space until Monday morning over the
yeah,
13th to the 16th of October.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what it was. I just needed to add our
Beautiful.
place.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So funny. Great. Well, just to close our space and share here. Oh, there's a beautiful little baby deer walking in front of my window right now.
Oh, beautiful.
We've got some beautiful gentleness with that lovely. Um, I just want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us in listening to this, share to this, us talk about what this retreat's going to be like. If you've already signed up, we cannot wait to have you with us. If you are feeling into it, like Tadja said earlier, reach out to us. There's a little application form to fill out just so we can make sure that everything can align and works, and we will chat. We can do a connection call and chat, and we would love to have you. If you're feeling into it, we would absolutely love to have you join us for this.
That's right. Thank you so much for being here. And if this isn't the retreat for you, just stay tuned. There are going to be more and more and more and more and more.
100%. All right, sending love and gratitude to all of you whenever you listen to this or watch this, and blessings your way.